Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Damn, you handled that well, OP. If I'd ever met someone who started shouting after an explanation, I'd scream back at them. Good for you for keeping your cool. Here we go. If you work anywhere, you're expected to help customers anywhere. I work for a rather large bank, and as I'm not in a customer-facing role, I'm not required to wear a uniform. Business attire with a lanyard and security tag to get in and out of the building. During my lunch break, I went down to one of my local technology shops as I had to buy a new phone. The employees of the shop don't dress anything like what I'm required to. They're mostly in casual clothes with a lanyard and security tag. While browsing the phones, a woman comes up right next to me, close enough that I could smell her breath. "Excuse me, why are you ignoring me?" I look up, thinking maybe it was someone I knew who was trying to get my attention. Me. "Sorry, do I know you?" Woman. "What the hell kind of question is that? I want you to help me find a laptop for my son for school." Me. "Sorry, I don't work here. You might have to go and find one of the employees." Woman. "No, you will help me. You're wearing that tag, so I don't care if you work here or not. You're going to help me." I'm at a loss for words at this point. So many things I wanted to say and refrained myself from blurting out. So a simple me. No. I turned around and went back to looking at different things. Now the woman goes full crazy and grabs my security tag. She's either trying to get it close to her face to read or pull it off. Woman. "Where do you work? I'm going to get you so fired if you don't help me." Our security tags don't have the name of the bank. They're just plain with a photo name and say building pass. I yank it away before she can read my name and tell her to F off. Her face goes the reddest I've ever seen a person go. Surprised she didn't pop a vein. She apparently no longer has anything to say, or she was startled by the sudden curse word directed at her as if I just insulted her entire family. Woman. "I'm going to find out where you work and get you fired. You're the laziest person in the world." I knew that she was going to leave and probably should have left it at that, but I decided to say, me. "Sorry, I don't work here. You might have to go and find one of the employees." She screams and storms out. A lot of customers and employees were watching her leave and all just glanced over at me. I shrugged and made the kind of face you make when you want to tell someone they are abso-effing-lutely bat-crap crazy without using the English language. Short recap. Woman expects that if you work somewhere, you're obligated to help them in a store you do not work at. I never did end up getting a new phone. And our second story. When haggling backfires, or sure, I'll get fired for $20. So I work at a small mom-and-pop stationery store. Yesterday I had two customers, D-Bag 1, D-Bag 2, come in with packages of latex balloons they wanted inflated, 50 in all. This is a rare occurrence. 99% of the time customers buy and inflate the balloons in store. They go up to the only other employee, a girl, Kate, that's somewhat new and still a little shaky on the more advanced parts of the job. I'm over on the lotto station, and the two stations are on opposite ends of a somewhat long counter. The ear I'm deaf in is facing that end, so I have pretty much no idea what's going on until I hear Kate. "OP, do we inflate balloons?" Me. "Yeah, the price sheet's on the wall by the tank." It's a pretty uncomplicated sheet, but there are different prices for just the balloon, just the helium, or whether it's mylar, latex, or one of those jumbo balloons, yada yada. Kate apparently read the number for buying just a latex balloon, 60 cents, as opposed to inflating a balloon, 85 cents, and quoted that number. D-bags. "Oh, you can do better than that." Blank stare. Kate has no idea what to do, so she calls me over. I still have no idea what's going on. I send her to the lotto station to take care of the line that's forming as four of our regular heavy players all decided to come in at once. Me. "Okay, so what's going on here?" D-Bag 2. "We want to inflate these balloons," they say. Carefully looks over the packages. "Helium balloons. Helium balloons. Helium balloons. They're all helium balloons. Can you inflate them?" Me. "Yes." D-Bag 2. "With helium?" Me. "Yeah, that's all they really use to inflate balloons. It's 85 cents per balloon." D-Bag 1. "She said 60 cents a piece." Me. "Did she?" Looks at the sheet to double check. "Oh, I think she must have accidentally read the price for just the balloon. It's 85 cents to inflate." D-bag 1, but she said 60 cents. Now, if they'd initially agreed to 60 cents when Kate said it, they would have paid, gotten inflated, and left, probably without me ever noticing. Even if I did notice, I would have honored the price they paid and done the job. I would have just spoken to Kate afterwards, but they declined the 60 cents offer and now it's off the table. Me. I'm sorry she misquoted. It's 85 cents to inflate. D-bag 1. Oh, you can do better than that. Given that they didn't know what kind of gas goes in a balloon 5 minutes ago, I assume that statement wasn't based on any kind of knowledge about the helium market. So time for some education. Me. I really can actually. There's a helium shortage, true, and the gas costs us far more than the balloons themselves, true. There's also labor, because this is going to take us upwards of half an hour to do, true. If you were going to do 50, I guess I can price break 15%. Same deal we do for a dozen balloons, but that's it. D1, what does that come out to? Me, $36 and change. I'll even round it down to 35. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's mental math. D1, are you sure that's right? Me, yes. D2, can you check on a calculator? I give the baby his bottle and punch the numbers into a calculator, with D1 craning his neck over the counter to look at the screen. Lo and behold, it comes to 36.125. Me, yeah, 36.13, and like I said, I'll go down to 35, but that's the absolute lowest I can go. D2, what does that come to per balloon? Me, 70 cents apiece. D1, are you sure? Me, puts calculator away. Yes. D2, chain does it for 40 cents apiece. I'm well versed in our competitors' prices, and last I heard it was 69 cents, but who knows, maybe they decided they didn't like making money anymore. Me, if that's what they're offering, then I suggest you go there. We can't go any lower than $35 for everything. D2, they're all the way in neighboring town. We don't have time to go there. This is for a party in an hour. Oh, good, one of these people. Improper planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on my part. Me, I'm sorry, but that's our final price. D1, get the manager. Me, I am the manager. Somewhat true. We don't really have titles, but I'm definitely ranked above most of the other employees in terms of authority. D1, then get the owner. Get him. Me, she's next door at clothing store. She'll be back in a bit. D1, can you call him? Me, yeah, I'll call her. I call her, she doesn't answer. I leave a message. I find out later that she left her phone in her office. Me, sorry, there's no answer. I can promise you she won't go any lower than $35 though. D2, $35 for balloons is a lot of money. Me, well, it's a lot of balloons. D1 takes out $20, puts it on the counter. You know, I'll pay in cash. You said the owner won't be back for a while? No, I didn't. You don't have to ring it up. He doesn't have to know. Even if I felt like ripping off my boss, I don't. She's great. There's no effing way I could have gotten away with that. Kate would have seen the whole thing. The owner has a effing voicemail talking about the balloons. The helium tank would have been noticeably emptied, and the owner would almost definitely have returned before I was done. This isn't to mention that he's operating with the subtlety of a Wayans Brothers movie, and two of our good regulars are standing right next to him and heard the entire thing. By this time, Kate's drowning in a sea of complicated lotto orders, and this one D-bag regular with no patience for anyone that can't read her mind. I don't have time to explain how miserable he is at bribery. I need to get these cheap effers out of the store so I can help her. Me, look, it's $35 for all the balloons or 85 cents per. That's the best I can do. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have paying customers to attend to. I walk away and start taking the line of people. They talk to each other in some foreign language for a bit and leave the store. We get the line down, laugh at how stupid they were, and out of curiosity, I call the store with the purported 40-cent fill-ups. Turns out it's 75 cents apiece, and they don't do any price breaks for fill-ups. About 20 minutes later, the douches return with more people in tow, D-bags 3 and 4. They start asking all sorts of ridiculous questions about all the different costs for all the different balloon-related services. If there's anywhere else nearby that can do them cheaper, like I'm going to tell them, until we get back to D4. So how much is it to fill up a balloon? Me, 85 cents. D3, but same chain as before, does it for 60 cents. D2, no, it's 40 cents. Me, actually, I just called them. They said it's 75 cents. If you're doing 50, I can price match that, so it'll be $37.50 for everything. D1, but you said 35. Me, and you said chain charges 40 cents. D2 puts one bag of 15 balloons on the counter. Okay, we don't have any time, so you'll inflate this bag for 75 cents. Me, no, I can only price break if you're doing it in bulk. 15 balloons will be $12.75. D2, but we don't have time for all 50 anymore. Me, I'm sorry, but that's not my fault. I can price break at 50 or it's 85 cents per balloon. They jabber in their language again and storm out, balloonless. If they were telling the truth about their time crunch, they either got no balloons or went to the chain store, paying more in gas to get there than they saved, and were very late. My boss didn't even care about losing the sale once I told her the full story. I have instructions to ban them from the premises should they ever come in again. And our last story. HOA claims my house by the lake. This is a story that happened recently, and it's my angry post about effing HOA Karen. I owned a large piece of land around the lake. My grandfather worked like hell and probably died so early because of it. He bought this piece of land almost a century ago. At that time, there were no proper roads, and reaching the city required more than an hour of off-roading and rough country roads. However, over time, a highway was built not far from here, making it easier to reach the city, and the neighboring city's urban sprawl expanded. When my father passed away, he left all this land to me as an inheritance. It's quite a large area, approximately around 2,800 meters along the lake. My family had a 2-story house in which my grandfather lived, and my father and I used it as a vacation home. So, getting down to business, I received a lucrative offer from a building company to sell the land. Since the word family inheritance is not just a buzzword to me, I decided to keep the house and part of the land. I sold about 2/3 of my land to the company. From the money I got from the sale, I installed a solar panel system and a control and storage system, and with the rest of the money and what I'd saved before, I was able to retire. Yeah, B, it's a 40-year-old retired grandpa. This was enough to fully power the house and make a profit by selling energy to the government at the green tariff rate. The construction company built a cottage community nearby, and under a contract that my lawyers drafted me, they built a road to my property, allowing me the right to use the road infrastructure of the area. Everything was going well until some of the new homeowners, greedy and snobbish morons, formed their own effing HOA. If someone doubts the authenticity of a video where a smug Karen can confront you for the slightest reason, screaming, "I'll mess you up," then congratulations, I thought it was staged too. Until I met my new disrespectful neighbors. First, they tried to lure me into their HOA. When their foolish written requests failed, they began to threaten to block my access through the road in the neighborhood. I paid no attention to such threats since I had a contract, and I continued to use that road until I received a lawsuit. I won the case in the very first hearing because the contract was in my favor. After that, I set up a billboard on my land so that Karen could see it with the inscription, "To hell with the HOA." But that's not all. I mentioned earlier that I installed solar panels for a reason. Almost every fall, due to the weather, trees would fall and we'd often be left without electricity for a couple of days. So Karen came to negotiate with me about buying electricity from my solar panels, and I offered them a price 5 times higher than the market rate. Since the HOA rules didn't allow them to install their own solar panels, they had no choice but to agree. So I hope you're happy with the service, Karen from the HOA. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.